Hi guys, it's Jewel. Welcome back to my channel. Finally have finished this series that we started working on, I think at the beginning, nope, toward the end of last week. And it's the desk set where we started off by making, it's 3 parts, the loaded file folder, full size, like the ones I've been making for over a year, and I've sold them in my shop. And then the folio, and then the matching junk journal. I think the last thing I shared was part 6, was where we were sewing in the signatures to the matching journal. I did finish out just a little dangle on here that I had mentioned that I hadn't finished. It has some bling, and it is attached with some cotton, with a jump ring and some cotton trim on the inside, so you can untie it and this dangle can be removed. So these are crystals, and this is a key and some chain, and that just dangles over. Now this is the outside of the folio, and you can see all this beautiful organza ribbon. The folio is loaded. We'll go over that again, and I'm going to show you how I finished out the journal. And then last but not least, this file folder that we made together and texturized, and what I've loaded it with. Okay, so we're going to save that to last, and let's get into the whole set. We'll just do it. Let me get you where you can see everything. I went over what is in the folio. I'm not going to take time for that. Here's the journal. This is the folio. And I haven't changed it since I showed it to you before, with the pockets, all the organza ribbons, all the tags, all filled up in the lilies and the orchids and the fairy theme. So, well, I'm going to pop this into my Etsy shop, so I'm probably going to just show you quickly. There's so much of it. There's 4 tags, and you can see the dangles on the tags, the organza ribbon. I've got these tucks, these 4 tucks. Here's a tag here. These cute lily, fairy and the lily tags with netting here. And then 2 other matching tags and a tag over here. Also in all of these little pockets are little booklets. Okay, so there's a lot of journaling room, and as I say with my desk sets, there in behind here, there's you can see I did a lot of stenciling. So if you want to see this in depth, I would suggest probably to go back a couple. So this comes as a 3-piece set, and I was taking you guys on the journey of how I create these. And I have had inspiration from different places on these in different components, and I want to name a couple of the gals. Tracy Fox did a folder. This isn't the same as hers, but I was inspired by her, and she called it an ephemera folder. And I believe, I'm not sure if it was a tri-fold or a 4-fold, but it was after that that I got inspired to start making the desk sets. And then another place, G.I. Kerr, did these beautiful folders, but she didn't load them out. She was just showing how she had done the techniques on the folders. And then, I came up with this idea to do this whole set. And this is just a mini journal. Well, it's not really that mini. So here's the cover, because you hadn't finished seeing that when it was I hadn't finished the outside. Done with that beautiful crocheted trim that's on the cover or the spine of the folio, the loaded folio. And then I added some of this pretty trim, fabric trim, and I made a ribbon. And then there's some more of the bling and some charms hanging from this bulb pin on the cover. And you had seen where I'd sewn it all around. If you caught it, I'm not sure if you saw the last one or not. I added more of this lovely organza ribbon as a tie. And then we've got metal grommets here, and I think I'd shown you the lace was there. I added one of my stick pins, faux stick pins right in here, and that's good and glued in, and it should not come out. Some embellishing here I think we did together. I've got a large tag here with a beautiful lily. If I can keep my lilies and my orchids separate, because I have a problem with that. And this cute little, we made one of these, and then I made several more of these little flip out circle like booklets made with like a little muslin and a crocheted trim lace. So that's just tucked in there. Some orchids. I showed you all the papers. We had picked those out, but I'm going to show you what I've loaded it with. We have a postcard here. Behind that we have, it's just a good heavy journaling card with some lilies on it in that pocket. This got so full that I didn't do much more page embellishing. I did a few things, a little collaging here and there, but it was getting so chunky and full that I had to call it quits. So there's a little collaging here with trims and paper trims. We've got this tuck here, and I think, yes, this is a fold-out tag with some pretty lily on it there, so there's a lot of room for writing on that flip-out. This is vellum that's been printed. Then the bag that we decorated together, this side, and in it I've tucked another one of these cute flip tags. So I've never seen anybody make these, but maybe they have. So I kind of just came up with that. Then we had decorated this pocket together with different cotton trims and some cut-offs and a little fussy cut orchid. And in here I've tucked this tag, and everything has been distressed, inked. I've added a little tiny bulb pin here, and this is just a little booklet with orchids on each side. There. If you hear my doggies chewing, they're all chewing bones in the background. That's how I can get them bully sticks to kind of be quiet while I'm filming. And this has some more of that netting and that or tulle, netting or tulle. And another, this is a hard cardstock tag, round tag here. That Franken paper, the old book pages that have been gessoed, a very old yellow writing tablet. We've got some vellum there. I just put a little trim on this. This would be cute for if you wanted to mount a photo here. I could have done some collaging or something on that, but I thought that's a perfect photo mount place. A little postcard tag here. This flips out, and I had done a little pocket here and then ended up coming back and doing a little collaging with some trim. And I've got a nice heavyweight journaling tag here. In this bag that I made, and I have a video on how I make these bags, is just a fold-out piece of lined paper with a lily on it. Some music paper, lots of room to write. Stamping, All Things Grow with Love, the doilies. Vintage graph paper. some more lily paper for writing. This is lined with a pretty bird up there. Got a little tuck spot here with one of those organza, not organza, tulle ribbons. And we did this a couple times ago. I showed you how to do those. Couple pieces of paper, flip. Then I made a big pocket here, and I did some collaging, well, a little stamped, you know, the offcuts, and then some eyelash trim there. And in here, this is a big pocket, and you have plenty of room to add more things. This is just a fold-out journaling card, all inked with that beautiful, I think that's an orchid right there, and that's, I've seen them grow on trees like that down here in South Florida. Some crunchy vellum. I did a ribbon trim off of that beautiful old fabric trim ribbon here, and a fussy cut orchid here. I left the inside here plain. I went back and forth, should I do trims or not, but the book was getting so thick. And so I added these two tags that coordinate, and there's a little bit of muslin and a inked flower there with a tab at the top. Here's one, here's the other. Rounded the corners. That's a lily, and you can see where I had stenciled in behind. I've left all this is chocolate brown trim. I thought it coordinated nicely. That's what's on all of the tags, all the sewing and everything. But I've left the strings, and it's up to the recipient as to whether or not they'd like to keep that look, or you can trim them. We've got some more interest down here, and a nice heavy journaling tag here. Paper for writing on, it says to do. I had torn this photo of a lily here and put it on, mounted it on some cheesecloth that I dyed with that that ink that we use throughout, and I've put it away. The name of it was it was a copper brilliance color. I have to go back to see the name of that. Oh gosh. Well, it's in the drawer. It's pigment ink, so it's a copper color. And here's another one of these little foldies here, tucked in here in this cute little orchid, nope, lily tag. Tags with lilies on it. Oish. Okay, some room for writing here and here, the doilies. There's a lot of stamping in that beautiful brilliance copper-colored ink. It's an iridescent. We've got a flip-up fabric flip here for some journaling under it. In this part of the bag, I have this cute little fairy that I also found in another spot on the graphics fairy page. This just flips out. Back here we have just this little journaling tag tucked in here, and I did do some lace that I distressed right there to just trim that pocket out. Got some papers, the Franken paper, belly band here, and in it I've placed another flip-up journaling tag. Well, sorry, it flips both ways. So that's a lot of room for writing, and if you're using this in your office or as a desk set, like this, to store your notes and your receipts and all of that, and or whatever you choose. I just call it a desk set because I think it would be pretty on a desk, just for journaling your thoughts, keeping track of, you know, business and things like that in a fun way. And we have two cute fairy princesses here, and that's on heavyweight, and I've sold those heavyweight cardstock. the orchid down here that I've stamped. Another one of these pretty tags with the tool. There's some stenciling and some stamping here. And then in the inside cover of the back pocket, I did some trim here, lace trim that's stamped or distressed muslin, and then this orchid stamp here. And back here we have a nice big journaling tag and another one of these pretty fairies in the lily. So this is the journal that matches, and it tucks right in the folio. You don't have to tuck it in, but you can with all that pretty organza. Then this is the loaded desk set. Now you can take all this stuff out and you don't have to put it in this order. I just loaded it with some some stamps, and I decorated it right here with some of that tulle ribbon in a coordinating color, and that's a fussy cut orchid there. Up here, I'm going to leave these out as I go through this. Up here we have, I just clipped together 2 of these book plate journaling tags. Right here, fold out, you know, on both sides, like I had tag that I had in the other one. 2 large postcards here for journaling or writing notes. So you have a tuck here, and you have a tuck here. And this tuck, I put one of these little Tim Holtz clips on this fold outline paper. Here we have a journaling or a big tag with a pocket that I made on the back, and in the back pocket we have a tag here, a round tag, and a tag here. Oops, my strings are getting caught. So you have room for writing here and under here, and then this beautiful image, and I fussy cut this orchid, and up here we have some tulle and some eyelash trim. This is just a heavyweight tag here with some cotton trim and a metal eyelet, and back here for writing. I have made a little tuck spot here with these stamped lilies, and put some cotton trim there, and in there I've just tucked 2 pieces of ephemera and a little glassine bag that I've inked and stamped on, and just put this little tag in it. So that's tucked in there. Or you can put it anywhere else. Up in here, this is the huge big inside pocket, guys. There's a lot of room for storing. I have this tag with this organza ribbon, this beautiful image, and this pretty stone type dangle here. And also in here, let me see, I have tucked another large tag with a pocket in the back with 2 more tags tucked inside, some pretty trim here. And this large, I printed the image on this image. Okay, so you have this beautiful front, and you can make notes around that, and you can also write on the back. So that is the 3-piece set, guys. So we didn't decorate this together, the top of this, because I was kind of running out of time, but we went through the basics of how to make these, and you can come up with any theme you want, do it any way you want. I've made a bunch of these and not one has ever been the same. I just go with my flow. So I tried to match the pockets up here as the pockets on the folios and in the journal on this diagonal. And I think that's it. I just wanted to share with you hold on, a possibility of what our next project together would be. And I'm really not sure. I talked about showing you the process of, I don't know where that belongs. The process of making my those big heirloom journals, those big guys that I make, the books that I construct from scratch, or we could do a smaller project like this little traveler's notebook that I actually found it under my desk. I'm like, what is that down there? It had fallen behind. And this is, these are fairly easy to make where you can do the refills. And I had made this one out of craft text. But I do the craft text in such a way that where it is a faux leather, but it's a real leather feel. So we could do that. We could do that, or we could just make something like this together, which is simpler, which doesn't involve the craft text, which is just craft, double layer craft card. This is the last one I have. I sold a 3-pack of these, well, in varying stages, and this is just a cute little easy type of journal. If you guys have a preference of what you want to see next, put it in the in the comments. It will be after the weekend. Today is Thursday because I'm going to get my grandchildren this weekend. The little ones, one is 2 and one is 4. So I will be busy. Okay, guys, thanks so much for following along on this series. I had a fun time doing it and sharing. I hope you could follow along, and if not, go on back if you have time and watch some of the videos. And thank you so much for all my subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you very much. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.